say WrestleMania 12 was obviously a huge moment, but the man that I am now looks at those final years that I had. That whole second chance was so enjoyable and peaceful because it was a gift.
Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy
I'm now joined by WWE legend and head of NXT HBK, Shawn Michaels. Shawn, thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk NXT Stand and Deliver. Tell me a little bit about the show. What can fans expect to see?
As you know, NXT is kicking off a big WrestleMania weekend, and the young men and women in NXT, they understand that responsibility. They're jacked, they're excited, and they're looking forward to tearing the house down, T-Mobile Arena, having a good time, and getting everybody off to a rowdy start with NXT and for their WrestleMania weekend. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a hell of a show. The young men and women that come through NXT, they understand how big this weekend is. And a lot of them, this is going to be their first Stand and Deliver moment, their first WrestleMania weekend. Honestly, it's a pretty exciting time for us in NXT and the WWE as a whole.
Let's talk about some of the young talent over there. Stephanie McCare, she's quickly made an impact on the NXT's women's division. She's the champ. What do you think has contributed to her success, and what do you see for her future in WWE?
The future clearly is very bright. She's a talented young lady. I think she has just endeared herself for the fans. I think she came in with a pretty good resume, but I also don't know how many people knew who Stephanie McCare was before she came into NXT. And clearly got very popular with the people pretty quickly. You can almost feel her making an attempt to communicate with her, speaking of English, and she's very gracious and understanding about the fact that, when she says, I don't speak English very well, it almost endears you to her more. You see her making that effort. And I think the fans appreciate that. And of course, she's just, she's one, talented young lady on top of it.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the talented young stars. Tiffany Stratton, Braun Breaker, who came up through the NXT ranks, both champions heading into WrestleMania, defending their titles. How proud are you kind of to see how much success they've had so far in their careers?
I'm very pleased to know that a lot of times now I'm going to see the shows at WrestleMania. Obviously, wanted to see my buddy, but at the same time, last year to watch, Theory and Waller and Ciampa and Gardner that I was a part of, and had the pleasure of, helping or coaching along the way and watching them have, the experience of their first WrestleManias. And this year, as you mentioned, will be that for Braun and for Tiffany. So look, that in and of itself is a reason to go. But then, of course, you have the Stand and Deliver shows you mentioned on April 19th. Starting out the weekend, and all those NXT, men and women have their sights set on being a part of their first WrestleMania. That's what they wait their whole careers for. That's what they come through NXT for. And you can bet that they're going to let it all hang out and Stand and Deliver to start off the weekend. So obviously, proud of the NXT people that have evolved into WrestleMania competitors now. And as you see at WrestleMania, look, Roman, Seth, so many of those people are NXT alum. So NXT has proven its worth, that the future stars of the WWE come from there.
You are Mr. WrestleMania. And can you tell us a little bit about what this moment in time means for you, especially now that you're out of the ring? Like, how special is it for you personally?
As a performer, it was, everything that you aspired to do. And I've been so fortunate to have had my time. And now to be able to help the next generation and to be able to, again, watch them walk down that big ramp at WrestleMania and see the smiles on their faces when they come back, that they made it, that they finally got there. It is easily more rewarding than enjoying, having that moment myself. It is, it's incredible in a whole different way. And, I'm very excited for Braun and Tiffany to have that experience and to be able to see them after. And also the NXT superstars that we have now, whether it's Stephanie, Julia, Oba, or Trick, heck, even young Javon, who's got, such a bright future ahead of him. They're all going to be there and watching, those people that they worked with, go out there and enjoy their first WrestleMania. It is an absolutely fantastic time. The spectacle and everything that WrestleMania is supposed to be to the fan base is going to be there this year. The WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, the rosters are so incredibly stacked. It's amazing. NXT is stacked with young talent. It is a great time to be a part of the WWE universe. And I have no doubt that everybody is going to go, pardon my language, balls out come WrestleMania weekend, because they're geared up and ready to go. And I'm excited to be a part of it. I can tell everybody that's what keeps me young. I'm so fortunate to have never had to grow up and knocking on the door 60. You wouldn't find a happier man than I am.
You've given us so many moments. If you got a chance to relive one WrestleMania match, which one would that be?
Well, look, I guess because of the age I'm at now, the maturity of it now, and the understanding of what I have, it's clearly the last one, I guess, would take, or even 25, because I just felt such peace about those. The drive and the passion and the desire for another one was still there in all of the others that I had, but they were, phenomenal moments. Winning your first championship obviously is a huge deal as a performer. And so the 19-year-old kid, I would say WrestleMania 12 was obviously a huge moment. But the man that I am now looks at, again, those final years that I had, that whole second chance was so enjoyable and peaceful because it was a gift. And so, and that's no different than what WrestleMania is now. As I sit here and I have the opportunity to help these young men and women, come up to NXT and allow them, hopefully to have their, WrestleMania moments. It's a gift. And so it's something that I enjoy every step of the way. Don't take it for granted, and continue, certainly do my best to help them out, through this journey.
I got to ask you about Triple H induction into the Hall of Fame once again, this time as an individual.
It's way past overdue.
Take his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
As fans, we can just appreciate what he does from the outside looking in. But for someone like you who's been in the trenches with him and can see it from a different perspective, how would you describe his contribution to the world of pro wrestling?
Look, it's huge. And I guess the thing is, I don't know, I guess it'll always come different for me. He's my best friend. Been there, for me in tough times and in great times. I've tried to do the same for him, but he deserves this. He's somebody that deserves this. He deserves the honors that he's getting now as an executive. He's a hard worker. He's a good man. When everything is said and done, he's a good man. He's a good human being. And as his friend, I couldn't be happier for him because, it's fitting. And I'm overjoyed for him and honored to be a part of this weekend with it.
And final question, probably the most important question. Is there a chance we see you reunite with Sexy Red next week at Stand and Deliver?
If she swings on by the show, you bet. Are you kidding me? Heck, I'll always be a fan of her. She was absolutely just wonderful with us. She's a welcome guest anytime for NXT. She's a great sport, and just again, an incredibly fun young lady to be around.
Shawn, thank you so much for the time. Stand and Deliver, Saturday, April 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, streaming live on Peacock in the U.S. and on Netflix everywhere else. Shawn, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.